Hello and welcome back. Today, we are going to talk about money. Not rich people money. Not Wall Street money. Not complicated money. Just normal money. The money you earn. The money you spend. The money you save. The money that comes in every month and somehow disappears before the month is over. And today, I want to give you one simple rule. The 503020 rule. It is simple. It is clear. It is not perfect. But it can help you stop feeling lost with your money. Because many people do not have a money problem only because they earn too little. Sometimes they have a money problem because they do not know where their money is going. They get paid. They feel good. They buy food. They pay bills. They order something online. They go out. They buy coffee. They pay for subscriptions. They help someone. They buy one small thing, then another small thing, then another. And at the end of the month, they look at their bank account and ask one painful question. Where did all my money go? That question hurts. Because you worked for that money. You gave your time for that money. You gave your energy for that money. Maybe you woke up early. Maybe you stayed late. Maybe you dealt with stress. Maybe you did work you did not even like, and still, the money disappeared. That is why you need a simple system. Not a system that makes you feel stupid. Not a system that needs 10 apps and 20 spreadsheets. Not a system that only works for financial experts. A simple system. A system you can remember. A system you can use even if you are tired. And that is where the 503020 rule can help. The rule is this: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for savings and debt. That is it. 3 numbers. 50, 51, 52. Now let's slow down, because simple does not mean useless. Simple can be powerful. A door key is simple, but it opens the door. A seatbelt is simple, but it can save your life. A small rule for money can be simple, but it can protect your future. The 503020 rule helps you give every dollar a job. Not every dollar in a stressful way. Not every dollar with fear, but every dollar with direction. Because money without direction becomes easy to lose. It goes to food. It goes to clothes. It goes to apps. It goes to random things. It goes to things you do not remember buying. And then you have nothing left for the things that matter. So today, we will make money feel less confusing. We will look at the 50%. We will look at the 30%. We will look at the 20%. And by the end, you will understand how to use this rule in real life. Not in a perfect life. Real life. A life with rent. A life with bills. A life with kids. A life with food prices. A life with surprises. A life with tired days. A life where money is not always easy. Now, let's begin with the first part. 50% for needs. Needs are the things you must pay for. Not because you want to look cool. Not because you feel bored. Not because an advertisement told you to buy it. Needs are the things that keep your life running. Housing, food, utilities, transportation, insurance, basic phone service, medicine, minimum debt payments, things you truly need to live and work. If you do not pay rent, you may lose your home. If you do not buy food, you cannot eat. If you do not pay electricity, the lights go off. If you do not pay for transportation, you may not get to work. These are needs. The 50-30-20 rule says that about half of your after-tax income should go to these needs. After-tax income means the money you actually take home, not your salary on paper, not the big number before taxes. The real money that arrives in your account, that is the number you use. Let's imagine you bring home $3,000 a month. With the 50-30-20 rule, about 50% goes to needs. That is $1,500. So your rent, basic food, utilities, transportation, insurance, and necessary payments should try to stay around $1,500. Now maybe you are listening and thinking, that is impossible. My rent alone is almost half my income. And yes, in many places, life is expensive. Rent is high. Food is high. Gas is high. Insurance is high. So do not use this rule to punish yourself. Use it to see clearly. That is important. The rule is not a whip. It is a mirror. It shows you what is happening. If your needs are not 50%, but 60% or 70%, do not panic. Just notice it. Say, okay, my needs are taking too much space. That means your money has less room to breathe. Less room for fun. Less room for saving. Less room for emergencies. Less room for the future. And once you see that clearly, you can make better choices. Maybe not today. Maybe not all at once. But you can begin. You can compare phone plans. You can reduce unnecessary subscriptions. You can meal plan. You can use public transportation more often. You can look for a better insurance option. You can avoid adding new payments. You can decide not to upgrade something that still works. You can be more careful before signing another monthly bill. Small choices matter because needs can quietly grow. A need can become bigger than it should be. A phone is a need, but the newest phone every year is not a need. Food is a need, but eating out every day is not always a need. Transportation is a need, but an expensive car payment may not be a need. Clothes are a need. But buying clothes because you are bored is not a need. This is where people get tricked. They call everything a need. They say, I need this. But many times they mean, I want this. And that difference matters. A need supports your life. A want improves your comfort, pleasure, or image. Needs are not bad. Wants are not bad either. But confusing them is dangerous. Because when you call every want a need, your budget breaks. Then you feel poor, even when you earn money. Then you wonder why saving feels impossible. So, the first step is honesty. Look at your spending and ask, do I truly need this? Or do I want this? No shame, just honesty. Now, let's move to the second part, 30% for wants. This is the part many people like, and also the part many people abuse. Wants are things that make life enjoyable. Restaurants, coffee shops, streaming services, new clothes, trips, entertainment, hobbies, gifts, decorations, upgrades, fun purchases. Wants are not evil. Please remember that. A good money plan is not about suffering every day. It is not about eating boring food forever. It is not about never enjoying life. It is not about becoming a robot. Money is not only for survival. Money is also for living. But wants need a limit. That is the point. The 30% category gives your joy a home. It says, yes, You can enjoy life. But it also says, do not let enjoyment destroy your future. Let's go back to the example. You take home $3,000 a month. 30% for wants is $900. That means you can use about $900 for restaurants, hobbies, fun, clothes, coffee, entertainment, and other things you enjoy. Now, listen carefully. The problem is not buying coffee. The problem is not eating out one time. The problem is not watching Netflix. The problem is not buying something nice. The problem is when small wants become invisible. A little coffee, a little snack, a little delivery fee, a little subscription, a little online order, a little upgrade, a little weekend shopping, a little I deserve this. And then suddenly, the little things are not little anymore. They become a hole in your wallet, and you do not even know how it happened. That is why the 30% limit is useful. It gives you permission, but it also gives you a boundary. A boundary is not a prison. A boundary is protection. Think of a garden. A garden needs space, but it also needs a fence. Without a fence, animals can come in and destroy everything. Your wants need a fence too. You can enjoy them, but do not let them eat your rent money. Do not let them eat your emergency fund. Do not let them eat your future. Now, I want to say something important. Some people feel guilty every time they spend money on themselves. They buy a meal and feel bad. They buy a shirt and feel bad. They take a small trip and feel bad. That is not healthy either. If your needs are covered and you are saving something, then enjoying part of your money is okay. Money should not only bring fear. It should also bring freedom. But freedom without control becomes chaos. So the 30% category is balance. It says, enjoy your life, but do not be stupid. Yes, do not be stupid. Do not work hard all week just to throw your money into things you forget the next day. Do not let boredom make financial decisions for you. Do not let social media tell you what your life should look like. Do not buy things just because someone else has them. That is weak behavior. And weakness with money becomes expensive. You see someone buying a new phone. You want one. You see someone eating at a nice restaurant. You want that too. You see someone traveling. You feel behind. Then you spend money you do not have to impress people who are not paying your bills. That is a trap, a stupid trap, and too many people walk into it with open eyes. So before you spend, ask yourself, do I really want this? Will I still care about this tomorrow? Am I buying this because I need joy? Or because I feel empty? Am I choosing this? Or am I copying someone? These questions can save you money. They can also save your peace. Because many people are not just spending money. They are spending emotion. They are spending loneliness. They are spending stress. They are spending boredom. They are spending insecurity. They feel bad, so they buy. They feel tired, so they order. They feel behind, so they upgrade. They feel lonely, so they shop. But the feeling comes back, and the money is gone. That is not freedom. That is a cycle, and we want to break that cycle. If this kind of simple money lesson helps you, subscribe to the channel now. Stay with us. Turn on the notification bell. Do not just listen and disappear. Small money habits can change your future. One clear rule. One better choice. $1 saved. One bad habit stopped. That is how you begin. Now, let's move to the third part. 20% for savings and debt. This is the part that protects your future. And many people ignore it. They say, I will save later. Later. That word sounds soft. It sounds harmless. It sounds like there is still time. But later can become never. You say you will save after the next paycheck. Then the next paycheck comes. Something happens. You spend again. You say next month. Then, next month becomes another excuse. And suddenly, years pass. You worked. You earned. You spent. But you built nothing. That is painful. Because your future self is waiting for you. Your future self needs help. Your future self may face an emergency, a medical bill, a job loss, a car repair, a family problem, a rent increase, a slow month, a tired body. And when that day comes, your future self will ask one question. Did you prepare anything for me? That question is emotional because saving money is not just about numbers. Saving money is an act of love for your future self. It says, I know life can be hard, so I am giving you something to stand on. The 20% category includes savings, emergency funds, investments, and extra debt payments. Let's use our example again. You take home $3,000 a month. 20% is 600. That $600 can go to your emergency fund, or retirement, or investments, or paying extra on credit card debt, or a mix of these. Now, if you have high-interest debt, like credit card debt, that needs serious attention because high-interest debt is like a leak in your boat. You can row harder. You can work more. You can earn more. But if the boat has a hole, water keeps coming in. Debt interest can quietly eat your progress. So part of the 20% can go toward paying more than the minimum. Minimum payments keep you trapped for a long time. Extra payments help you escape. Now, if you do not have emergency savings, start there. An emergency fund is money you keep for real problems. Not for shopping. Not for vacation. Not for a new phone. Real problems. Job loss. Medical needs. Car repair. Urgent travel. Unexpected bills. A beginner emergency fund might be $500. Then $1. Then 1 month of expenses. Then 3 to 6 months of expenses. Do not feel overwhelmed. Start where you are. Even $10 saved is not nothing. It is a beginning. Do not let pride destroy your beginning. Some people say, I can only save a little, so why bother? That is lazy thinking. That is loser thinking. If you can save a little, save a little. A little money saved is better than zero. A small step repeated becomes a path. A small habit repeated becomes a new identity. You become a person who saves. That matters. Because the first goal is not becoming rich. The first goal is becoming consistent. Consistency is power. Now, let's make the rule practical. Step 1. Know your take-home income. Not your dream income. Not your gross salary. Not what you wish you earned. Your real take-home income. The money that actually arrives in your account. Write it down. Step 2. Calculate 50%. This is for needs. Rent. Groceries. Utilities. Transportation. Insurance. Basic bills. Minimum debt payments. Step 3. Calculate 30%. This is for wants. Restaurants. Coffee. Entertainment. Subscriptions. Shopping. Travel. Fun. Step 4. Calculate 20%. This is for savings and debt. Emergency fund. Investing. Retirement. Extra debt payments. Future goals. Step 5. Track your real spending. This is where people get uncomfortable. They do not want to look. They are afraid of what they will see. But you cannot fix what you refuse to face. Look at your bank account. Look at your card statements. Look at the last 30 days. Not to shame yourself, to wake yourself up. Circle the needs. Circle the wants. Circle savings and debt payments. Then ask, where is my money really going? You may be surprised. Maybe your food spending is higher than you thought. Maybe subscriptions are quietly taking money every month. Maybe delivery fees are hurting you. Maybe small online purchases are bigger than you realized. Maybe your car payment is too heavy. Maybe your wants are not 30%. Maybe they are 45%. Maybe your savings are not 20%. Maybe they are 2%. Do not cry. Do not make excuses. Just see the truth. Truth is uncomfortable. But truth gives you power. A confused person cannot change. A clear person can. Now, let's talk about what to do if your numbers do not fit. Maybe your needs are too high. Maybe you spend 70% on needs. That can happen, especially if income is low or housing is expensive. In that case, do not pretend. You may need to adjust. Maybe for now, your budget is 7-0-2-0-1-0. 70% needs, 20% wants, 10% savings. Or traits, 5-15. The point is not to worship the numbers. The point is to create direction. The 5-0-3-0-2-0 rule is a guide, not a law, but do not use that as an excuse to stay messy. Some people hear it is only a guide and then do nothing. Do not be that person. That is weak. Use the rule. Adjust it if needed, but still make a plan. Still save something. Still control your wants. Still watch your needs. Still move forward. Now, let's talk about real examples. Example 1. Maria takes home $2,500 a month. With the 5-0-3-0-2-0 rule, $1,250 goes to needs. $750 goes to wants. $500 goes to savings and debt. At first, Maria thinks this is easy, but when she checks her spending, she sees something. Her needs are $1,600. Her wants are $700. Her savings are $200. So her money is tight. What can she do? She cannot magically cut rent tomorrow, but she can reduce wants from $700 to $500. She can cancel 2 subscriptions. She can cook at home 3 more times a week. She can move $100 more toward savings. She can start looking for cheaper insurance. She can plan better. Not perfect. Better. That is the key. Better is enough to begin. Example 2. David takes home $4,000 a month. His needs are $1,800. His wants are $1,700. His savings are $500. At first, he thinks he is doing okay, but his wants are too high. He eats out often. He buys gadgets. He orders things late at night. He says, "I work hard. I deserve it." Maybe he does. But he also deserves peace. He also deserves savings. He also deserves not to panic when an emergency happens. So David makes a rule. No online shopping after 9 p.m. Only 2 restaurant meals per week. Cancel subscriptions he does not use. Move savings automatically on payday. Now he saves $800 a month. Not because he became rich, because he became aware. Awareness changes behavior. Now, let's talk about automatic saving. This is one of the smartest tricks. Do not wait until the end of the month to save. Because at the end of the month, the money may be gone. Save first. When your paycheck arrives, move the 20% first. Or move whatever amount you can. 20美元, 50美元, 100美元, 300美元. Move it before your wants eat it. This is called paying yourself first. It means your future gets paid before your impulses. That is powerful, because if you leave all the money in your checking account, your brain thinks it is available. It says, we have money, so you spend, but if you move savings first, the money is protected. Out of sight, out of temptation, out of the danger zone. Now, let's talk about cash flow. Cash flow means the movement of money in and out. Money comes in, money goes out. If more goes out than comes in, it does not matter how smart you are. It does not matter how positive you are. Math does not care about feelings. If you earn $3,000 and spend $3,300, you are going backward. Slowly, maybe. Quietly, maybe. But backward. And if you keep doing it, debt grows. Stress grows. Fear grows. Then one day you say, I do not know how this happened, but it did not happen in one day. It happened through repeated small choices. So the 5-0-3-0-2-0 rule helps you stop the leak. It helps you see the flow. It helps you say, this dollar goes here, that dollar goes there. And little by little, money stops feeling like a mystery. Now, let's talk about needs again, because this part is tricky. Some needs are fixed. Rent may be fixed. Insurance may be fixed. Car payment may be fixed. But some needs are flexible. Groceries can be planned better. Electricity can be reduced. Phone bills can be compared. Transportation can be adjusted. Eating at work can be changed. A fixed expense is something hard to change quickly. A flexible expense is something you can improve sooner. Start with flexible expenses. Do not waste energy complaining about what you cannot change today. Attack what you can change. Meal planning, cheaper phone plan, lower utility use, fewer convenience purchases, better grocery list, avoiding late fees. These are not glamorous, but they work. Money is not always about big moves. Sometimes money is about stopping small leaks. A dripping faucet looks harmless, but if it drips all day, every day, it wastes a lot. Your budget has dripping faucets too. Find them. Stop them. Now, let's talk about wants again. Wants should bring joy, but many wants bring only a short high. You buy something, you feel excited, then the feeling disappears. Now you need another purchase. That is not joy. That is chasing. Real joy lasts longer. A meal with someone you love. A book you actually read. A hobby you truly enjoy. A small trip you remember. A coffee with a friend. A gift that has meaning. These wants can be worth it. But random spending is different. Random spending is when money leaves and gives almost nothing back. So before you spend from the 30%, ask, will this add real value to my life? Or is this just a quick feeling? There is no perfect answer. But asking the question slows you down. And slowing down can save money. Now, let's talk about debt. Debt can feel heavy. It can make your paycheck feel smaller before it even arrives. Credit cards, personal loans, car loans, student loans, medical debt. Buy now, pay later. Debt can make the future pay for the past, and that is exhausting. The 50-30-20 rule helps because it gives debt a place. Minimum payments go under needs because you must pay them. Extra payments go under the 20% because they help you build a better future. If you have many debts, you can choose a method. One method is the snowball method. You pay off the smallest debt first, then the next smallest, then the next. This gives motivation. Another method is the avalanche method. You pay the debt with the highest interest first. This saves more money over time. Both can work. Choose the one you will actually follow. Do not waste 3 months researching the perfect method while paying nothing extra. That is procrastination wearing a suit. Pick a method. Start. Adjust later. Now, let's talk about emergency funds. An emergency fund is boring until you need it. Then it becomes beautiful. When the car breaks down, emergency savings feel beautiful. When a medical bill arrives, emergency savings feel beautiful. When work slows down, emergency savings feel beautiful. When life punches you in the face, emergency savings give you a cushion. Without emergency savings, every problem becomes a crisis. A flat tire becomes panic. A doctor visit becomes panic. A broken appliance becomes panic. A missed paycheck becomes disaster. But with savings, you can breathe. That is why the 20% matters. It buys breathing room, and breathing room is priceless. Now, let's talk about budgeting without shame. Many people avoid budgeting because they think it means they failed. No, budgeting does not mean you are poor. Budgeting means you are paying attention. Rich people budget. Businesses budget. Governments budget. Smart families budget. A budget is not a punishment. A budget is a plan. It tells your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. That sentence is important. Say it again. A budget tells your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Now, the 50-30-20 rule is a simple budget. It does not ask you to track 100 categories. It gives you 3: needs, wants, savings, and debt. That is why it works for beginners. Because beginners do not need a perfect system. They need a system they will actually use. Now, let's talk about couples and families. Money can create tension. One person wants to save. One person wants to spend. One person is careful. One person is emotional. One person checks the account. One person avoids it. This can create fights, but the 50-30-20 rule can help make money less personal. It creates a shared language. Instead of saying, you spend too much, you can say, our wants category is too high. That feels different. Less attack. More teamwork. Couples can sit down once a month and ask, what is our income? What are our needs? What are our wants? What are we saving? What debt are we paying? What needs to change? This conversation may feel uncomfortable at first, but silence is worse. Money silence becomes money stress. Money stress becomes arguments. Arguments become distance. So talk early. Talk calmly. Talk with numbers, not blame. Numbers are honest. Now, let's talk about children. If you have children, teach them this rule early. Do not make money a mystery. Let them understand. Some money is for needs. Some money is for wants. Some money is for saving. Even a child can understand this. If they get $10, you can show them. $5 for needs or important things. $3 for wants. $2 for saving. This is simple, but powerful. A child who learns money early may avoid many painful mistakes later. Do not wait until they are adults drowning in debt. Teach them now. Money education is love. Now, let's talk about low income. Some people hear 503, 020, and feel discouraged. They say, I cannot do that. I barely survive. And that may be true. If your income is very low, this rule may feel impossible at first, but do not throw it away. Use it as a direction. Maybe you cannot save 20% today. Can you save 1%? Can you save $5? Can you save coins? Can you reduce one want? Can you avoid one unnecessary fee? Can you make one extra payment? Can you look for one way to increase income? Small does not mean meaningless. When life is hard, small steps matter even more. And also, be honest. Sometimes the problem is not only spending, sometimes the problem is income. You may need more income, a better job, a side skill, overtime, freelance work, selling something, learning something that increases your value. Cutting expenses helps, but you cannot cut forever. At some point, growing income matters. So use the rule in two ways. Control spending and think about earning. Both matter. Now, let's talk about high income. Some high earners are still broke. Why? Because income went up, but spending went up too. This is called lifestyle inflation. You earn more, so you spend more. Bigger apartment, better car, more restaurants, more travel, more shopping, more subscriptions, more everything. And somehow, that is embarrassing. Do not earn more just to become a more expensive fool. If your income increases, do not let every extra dollar become a want. Use part of the increase for savings. Use part to pay debt. Use part to invest. Use part to enjoy life. Balance. That is the word. Balance. The 503020 rule protects you from lifestyle inflation because when income goes up, the percentages still guide you. More income should mean more freedom, not just more bills. Now, let's talk about payday. Payday is dangerous. Yes, dangerous. Because payday makes people feel rich for a moment, the account looks bigger, the mood gets better, the brain relaxes, and then spending begins. A nice meal, a few purchases, a little celebration, a bill you forgot, another purchase. And before the week ends, the paycheck is already injured. So create a payday routine. When money comes in, do not celebrate first. Organize first. Step 1. Pay needs. Step 2. Move savings. Step 3. Set your wants amount. Step 4. Then enjoy. In that order, needs first, future second, fun third. Most broke people do it backwards. Fun first, needs later, future never. Do not be that person. That path is trash. And if nobody has told you that, I will tell you. Stop letting your impulses drive your life. Your impulses are not leaders. They are noisy children. You need a system. Now, let's make the rule even easier. You can create 3 accounts. 1 account for needs. 1 account for wants, one account for savings. When you get paid, split the money. 50% goes to needs, 30% goes to wants, 20% goes to savings or debt. If 3 accounts are too much, use one account and a notebook, or use envelopes, or use a simple spreadsheet, or use a budgeting app. The tool does not matter as much as the habit. Do not waste 2 weeks searching for the perfect budgeting app. That is another trap. Pick something simple. Use it. A messy budget you actually use is better than a perfect budget you never start. Now, let's talk about emotional spending. This one is big. Sometimes you do not spend because you need something. You spend because you feel something. You feel stressed. You buy. You feel sad. You buy. You feel bored. You buy. You feel insecure. You buy. You feel tired. You order food. You feel lonely. You shop online. The purchase becomes medicine, but only for a few minutes. Then the feeling returns, and the money is gone. So before emotional spending, pause. Ask, what am I feeling right now? Am I hungry? Am I tired? Am I lonely? Am I angry? Am I comparing myself to someone? Do I need this item? Or do I need rest? Do I need connection? Do I need a walk? Do I need sleep? Do I need to talk to someone? Many times, the thing you want to buy is not the thing you actually need. You do not need another package at the door. You need peace. You do not need another delivery meal. You need energy. You do not need another upgrade. You need confidence. Money cannot fix every emotion. Sometimes the best financial decision is not buying. It is breathing. It is waiting. It is walking away. Now, let's talk about the 2-4-hour rule. This is simple. If you want to buy something that is not necessary, wait 24 hours. Just wait. Put it in the cart. But do not buy. Walk away. Sleep. Come back tomorrow. If you still want it, and it fits your 30% category, maybe buy it. But many times, the desire disappears. That means it was not real. It was just a moment. The 2-4-hour rule protects you from moments. Moments are expensive. Now, let's talk about subscriptions. Subscriptions are sneaky. One small payment, then another. Music, movies, apps, cloud storage, fitness app, news app, delivery membership, random free trial, you forgot to cancel. Each one looks small. Together, they become a crowd. Review your subscriptions every month. Ask, do I use this? Do I love this? Does this make my life better? If not, cancel it. Do not donate money to apps you forgot about. That is lazy money management. Now, let's talk about food. Food is a need, but food spending can become wild. Groceries, restaurants, snacks, coffee, delivery, tips, fees, convenience. Food can quietly destroy a budget. The answer is not starving. The answer is planning. Plan meals. Cook simple food. Keep easy meals at home. Bring lunch sometimes. Limit delivery. Use restaurants intentionally, not randomly. A restaurant meal with friends can be a want worth paying for. Ordering expensive food because you are too tired to think may be different. Again, no shame, just awareness. Now, let's talk about transportation. Transportation is a need. But transportation can also become too expensive. A car payment, insurance, gas, repairs, Parking, registración, cleaning, tolls. People often buy more car than they can afford because they want status. Be careful. A car should move you. It should not choke your budget. If your car payment makes you unable to save, that car is not helping you. It is controlling you. Do not let metal and wheels steal your future. Now, let's talk about housing. Housing is usually the biggest need. Rent or mortgage can take a large part of income. If housing is too high, everything else becomes harder. Sometimes you cannot change this quickly, but you should know the truth. If your housing costs are too heavy, your budget will feel tight no matter how many coffees you skip. So, when choosing housing, be careful. Do not choose a place only because it looks good. Ask, can I breathe financially here? Can I still save? Can I still pay other needs? Can I still handle emergencies? A beautiful apartment that makes you broke is not beautiful. It is a cage with nice lighting. Now, let's talk about tracking. Tracking your spending is not exciting, but it is powerful. For 30 days, write down every expense. Every expense. Rent, food, gas, coffee, subscriptions, snacks, online orders, tips, fees, everything. At the end of 30 days, sort them. Needs, wants, savings, and debt. This one exercise can change your life. Because most people do not know their real spending. They guess. And their guess is usually wrong. Numbers remove the fog. Once you see the numbers, you cannot unsee them. That is good. Painful maybe, but good. Now, let's talk about the budget meeting. Do one budget meeting with yourself every week. Not long. 10 minutes. Ask, how much did I spend on needs? How much did I spend on wants? Did I save? Did I pay debt? What surprised me? What can I improve next week? This is not punishment. This is leadership. You are leading your money, not chasing it, not fearing it, leading it. Now, let's talk about guilt. Maybe you made mistakes. Maybe you wasted money. Maybe you have debt. Maybe you saved nothing for years. Maybe you feel behind. Okay, be honest, but do not stay in guilt. Guilt that leads to action is useful. Guilt that leads to hiding is useless. You cannot change last year. You cannot change every bad decision. But you can change the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Money improvement is not magic. It is repetition. One better choice, then another, then another. Now, let's talk about the emotional side of saving. Saving money can feel boring. It does not give the same excitement as buying something. But saving gives something deeper. Safety, confidence, option, peace. When you have savings, you stand differently. You breathe differently. You think differently. You are not as afraid of every surprise. That is real power. Not showing off. Not looking rich. Real power is having options. Real power is not panicking over every bill. Real power is sleeping better because you prepared. The 20% is not just money. It is peace. Now, let's talk about investing. Investing can be part of the 20%, but before investing, understand your situation. If you have no emergency fund, build one. If you have high-interest debt, handle it. Then learn about investing slowly. Do not jump into something because someone online promised quick money. Quick money talk attracts impatient people. and impatient people get eaten. Learn, read, ask questions, understand risk. Investing is not gambling. If you do not understand something, slow down. Your money took time to earn. Do not throw it into something you cannot explain. Now, let's talk about the danger of comparison. Comparison is a thief. You compare your life to someone else's highlight reel. Their vacation, their car, their clothes, their house, their dinner, their success, but you do not see their debt. You do not see their stress. You do not see their bank account. You do not see their arguments. You do not see the payments behind the photo. So stop comparing your real life to someone else's performance. That is stupid and expensive. Your budget must fit your life, your income, your goals, your family, your season, not someone else's Instagram. The 503020 rule helps bring you back to yourself. What do I earn? What do I need? What do I want? What must I save? What future am I building? That is your focus. Now, let's talk about goals. Saving is easier when it has a name. Do not just say, I want to save money. Say, emergency fund, new home, debt freedom, school, travel, retirement, medical safety, business, peace. When savings has a name, it has emotion, and emotion gives energy. A nameless savings account feels boring. A named savings account feels meaningful. So, name your savings, even if it is small. Emergency fund, freedom fund, new life fund, future me fund. Choose a name that makes you care. Now, let's talk about what happens when you fail, because you will. 1 month, you will overspend. 1 week, you will forget the plan. 1 emergency will break the numbers. 1 emotional day will lead to a bad purchase. Okay, that does not mean the system failed. That means you are human. Do not throw away the rule because of 1 bad month. If you eat 1 unhealthy meal, you do not say, my health is over. You return to better food. Money is the same. Return to the rule. Return to the numbers. Return to the plan. The goal is not perfection. The goal is direction. Now, let's talk about a simple monthly review. At the end of each month, ask 5 questions. Did my needs stay close to 50%? Did my wants stay close to 30%? Did I save or pay debt close to 20%? What went wrong? What will I do differently next month? That is enough. Do not make it complicated. Simple review. Simple adjustment. Simple progress. Now, let's talk about cash and cards. Cards make spending easy. Too easy. Tap. Swipe. Click. Buy now. 1 button. Done. The brain does not feel the money leaving. Cash feels different. When you hand over cash, you notice it. So if your want spending is out of control, try using cash for wants. Take out your wants budget for the week. When it is gone, it is gone. This can feel old-fashioned, but it works. Sometimes old tools work because they make money visible. Visible money is harder to waste. Now, let's talk about the weekly wants limit. Instead of thinking about the whole 30% for the month, divide it by weeks. If your wants budget is $600 a month, that is about $150 a week. Now it feels clearer. This week, I have $150 for restaurants, coffee, fun, shopping, and entertainment. When you think monthly, you may overspend early. When you think weekly, you control the pace. Pace matters. A paycheck is like water. If you pour all the water on the first day, the plant will be dry later. Spread it out. Now, let's talk about the one number method. Some people hate tracking many categories. Okay, use one number. Your weekly wants number. Needs are paid. Savings are moved. Then you only manage wants. For example, income arrives. Needs get paid. Savings gets moved. Now you have $150 this week for wants. That is the number. You can spend it on coffee, or restaurants, or clothes, or movies. But once it is gone, you stop. This keeps things simple, and simple is good. Complicated systems die fast. Simple systems survive tired days. Now, let's talk about discipline. Discipline does not mean you never want things. Discipline means you do not obey every want. That is the difference. You can want the shoes and still not buy them. You can want delivery and still cook. You can want a new phone and still keep the old one. You can want a trip and still save for it slowly. That is strength. Weak people obey every impulse and then blame life. Strong people pause. They choose. They think beyond today. And yes, money requires strength. Not loud strength, quiet strength. The strength to say no. The strength to wait. The strength to plan. The strength to look at your account when you do not want to. The strength to admit, I need to change. Now, let's talk about peace. Because money is not only about buying things, money is about peace. Peace when the bill comes. Peace when the car breaks. Peace when rent increases. Peace when life becomes uncertain. The 503020 rule is not just a budget. It is a peace plan. 50% keeps your life stable. 30% lets you enjoy life. 20% protects tomorrow. Stable life. Enjoyable life. Protected future. That is balance. Now, let's imagine your life 1 year from now. You used the 503020 rule for 1 year. Not perfectly, but consistently, you tracked your spending. You reduced waste. You controlled wants. You saved first. You paid extra debt. You built an emergency fund. What changes? Maybe you are not rich yet, but you are calmer. You understand your money. You know where it goes. You have savings. You have fewer surprises. You feel more in control. That is a beautiful feeling. Control, not control over everything. Life will still happen. Problems will still come, but you will be less helpless, and that matters. Now, let's talk about starting today. Do not wait for January. Do not wait for Monday. Do not wait for a perfect month. Do not wait until you earn more. Start with the money you have now. Open your Notes app. Write your take-home income. Write 50%. Write 30%. Write 20%. Then look at your last month of spending. Needs, wants, savings, and debt. That is your first step. Not perfect, just honest. And honesty is where change begins. Now, let's make it very simple. If you take home $2,000, 50% is $1,000 for needs. 30% is $600 for wants. 20% is $400 for savings and debt. If you take home $3,000, 50% is 1,500. 30% is 900. 20% is 600. If you take home $4,000, 50% is 2 nolla. 30% is 1 200. 20% is 800. If you take home $5,000, 50% is 2 500. 30% is 1 500. 20% is 1 nolla. The math is simple, but the behavior is the real challenge. Do not be fooled. Knowing the rule is not enough. Doing the rule matters. Many people know what to do. They still do not do it. They know they should save. They know they should spend less. They know they should check their bank account. They know they should stop buying random things. But they keep repeating the same weak behavior. Then they complain. Do not be that person. Information without action is useless. A budget you do not follow is just decoration. Now let's talk about one powerful sentence. Before you buy something, say, "Does this fit my 30%? That is it. Does this fit my 30%? If yes, enjoy it. If no, wait." This one question can stop many bad purchases. Another sentence. Have I paid my future first? If no, save first. Another sentence. Is this a need or a want? If it is a want, treat it like a want. Do not lie to yourself. Self-honesty is financial strength. Now, let's talk about building momentum. Momentum means progress that begins to move on its own. At first, budgeting feels hard. You have to think. You have to check. You have to say no. You have to face numbers. But after a while, it becomes easier. You know your categories. You know your limits. You know your weak spots. You know what triggers your spending. You begin to feel proud. That pride is good. Not arrogant pride. Quiet pride. The pride of a person who is finally taking care of their life. That feeling is worth more than another random purchase. Now, let's talk about your future self again. Imagine your future self sitting across from you. Older, tired maybe. But looking at you, they ask, "Did you think about me? Did you save anything for me? Did you protect me? Did you make my life easier? Or did you spend everything because you wanted comfort today?" That is a heavy question, but it is a good question, because your choices today become someone else's reality tomorrow, and that someone is you. So when you save, you are not losing money. You are sending money forward. You are helping your future self breathe. Now, let's talk about the emotional ending of this rule. The 50-30-20 rule is not about becoming perfect. It is not about never having fun. It is not about counting every coin with fear. It is about giving your money a path. It is about respecting your work. It is about protecting your peace. It is about enjoying life without destroying tomorrow. It is about saying, "I will take care of today. I will enjoy part of today. And I will not abandon tomorrow." That is maturity. That is strength. That is real money management. So remember the rule. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for savings and debt. Needs keep you stable. Wants keep life enjoyable. Savings protect your future. 3 numbers. 1 simple system, a clearer life. Now, before we finish, I want you to do one small thing. Not tomorrow, not later. Today, open your bank account. Look at your money. Do not be afraid. Write down your income. Write down your needs. Write down your wants. Write down what you saved. If the numbers are ugly, good. At least now you can see them. Ugly truth is better than pretty confusion. Then choose one action. Cancel one subscription. Save $10. Cook one meal at home. Pay a little extra debt. Set one spending limit. Move money to savings. One action. That is enough for today. And tomorrow, take another. Money changes when behavior changes. Behavior changes when you stop hiding. So stop hiding. Look at the numbers. Use the rule. Start small. Stay honest. Protect your future. And build a life where money is not your enemy anymore. Now, if this lesson helped you, subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell. Stay with us. Learn one simple money idea at a time. Use it in real life. Not someday. Today. One rule. One step. One better choice. Your money can become clearer. Your future can become stronger. And your life can become lighter. Thank you for listening. Take care of your money. Take care of your future. And I will see you in the next episode.